Yeah, literally.
Some of them literally pay to have lunch with him, you know.
I'm not surprised.
It's true, isn't it?
Yeah.
And when you were competing, was there anybody? You obviously had many a battle with George, and
Where did it all start, mate? When did you first pick up a gun? Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Tweedl Pod. Myself and my co-host, Rob Fennick.
Nice to see you, everyone.
Yeah.
How are you, Sammy?
Yeah, top. Really good, thank you.
Good.
And a special star, a bit of a legend of the shooting game, and I would say the face of EJ Churchill.
I agree.
The backbone of EJ Churchill.
Yeah.
Let's give it him all.
What else can we say?
Listen, dead right.
Mr. Sean Bramley,
The
thank you very much for taking time out of your busy schedule, sir, to come and sit down with us.
A pleasure.
Don't worry, you're still on the clock. You'll still get paid.
No, this is his lunch break.
I don't think I will.
We've nicked him from his lunch break, and Sean doesn't like missing his lunch break.
No. How are you, mate?
I'm very good, thank you.
Good. What's fresh? What's been happening in the world of Brammers?
Just busy. Normal, everyday life. Busy. Never a dull moment.
No. And obviously, for those that don't know, Sean is a coach here at Churchills.
Head instructor.
Head instructor. How long have you been here, mate?
Just under 6 years now.
Yeah.
Just under 6 years.
Yeah. And enjoying it?
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, the people, the clients, they're not clients to me when they come, they're friends. They're all friends. Yeah. And it's lovely to see them not just shooting, enjoying the shooting, I'd say. Enjoying the shooting. Yeah.
And very, very few get better, don't they, when they're with you? Or is that wrong, I'm hearing?
Yeah, that's why they keep coming back.
Very small improvements.
He's finding a hole in his diary.
Yeah, literally.
Some of them literally pay to have lunch with him, you know.
I'm not surprised.
It's true, isn't it?
That's the personality of Sean for you.
They love him, don't they, Sean?
Yeah, I'm lucky. Sharing quality time, quality people. I can't ask for anything better.
You're a top man, though. And your career in shooting was quite good. You're a pretty good shot yourself. Where did it all start, mate? When did you first pick up a gun?
Can I just say we want some honest answers, because he never tells people about what he's done in the shooting world before. So
the first time I picked up a gun, I was probably still in nappers. So I was lucky. And my father was a coal miner for a few years. Then he was a gamekeeper for 49 years. So I was very lucky growing up with my father being a keeper in the countryside. Yeah, with wildlife and everything else. Yeah, one thing that I do love more than anything is my wildlife. And then, obviously, the shooting just went hand in hand with it all.
Where was your dad a keeper, Sean?
North Lincolnshire.
Yeah.
North Nottinghamshire.
Yeah.
And you were pretty good at it. You got pretty good at it.
I got lucky a few times, yeah.
Yeah.
I got lucky.
No, come on, we're not having any of
Don't
this.
keep the humble
Come on,
hat on.
start.
Yeah, no.
So, talk us through. Who did you start competing with, and where did you get your love for clay pigeon shooting?
Right. I'd never, because I was only a keeper's son, I never really ventured out of my comfort zone until I'd probably be about 22. And then a little bit more independent, driving, going from little local straw bale shoots, finding you could win the little local shoots, and then you think, right, I'll test myself, I'll go further afield, and then realising that you went further afield and you thought you'd had a bad day and then come second. And then started having good days and travelled even further afield.
And what were you doing for work around this sort of time when you started shooting?
I worked for a big family-run printers.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is where Sean, am I right in saying, Sean, before you came here,
Yeah.
you were there. How long were you there for?
32 years.
Flipping heck.
Yeah.
What doing? You were doing the printing, or what?
I wasn't doing the printing. No, I'm not that intelligent. No.
What were you doing?
I was doing the finishing. I worked in the finishing department. Yeah, guillotining, folding. Yeah, perfect. My main job for the last 10, 12 years, running a big perfect binder in the factory.
Wow.
So, and it's lovely because last off, my father was a keeper for the chairman of the print works where I was working, so it all went hand in hand.
Yeah.
It was a good job. Yeah.
And Sean, we'll come on to that in a bit, but coming back to you as a shooter, so who taught you to shoot then? I mean, were you completely self-taught, or?
I suppose in a way, yeah. Spent a lot of time with the gun on my own and everything else. But then when I started moving out and doing a few more things, there was people, John Miller, fantastic skeet shot, Nottinghamshire. Mick Tomlinson, the same, yeah. There then there was another GB shot. Yeah, who used to shoot fit ass and everything else. His name, it'll come back to me in a minute when I'm thinking about it. But they used to put me right when I was failing.
Yeah.
Just give you a few tips here and there.
Yeah, I never had no lessons with anybody. They put me right, and that's it. Andy Cooper was the lad that used to look after me a little bit. Yeah. And Andy Cooper was, again, a good sporting shot, a good fit ass shot. That's it.
And you started to get your love for clay shooting, and you then but Fitask was your real baby, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Would that be right in saying that?
Yeah. For me, there's many different types of clay shooting. There's many types of motor racing. There's only one F1, and for me, the F1 of shooting clays is Fitask.
Yeah.
There's more target variation. That's it.
And that's what you focused on.
Yeah.
And when did you start? I know you got into the British team, and you captained the British team, I think, for Fitask, didn't you?
I've never captained it, no.
But you're in the team for many
years.
years.
I've been in the team many times, yeah.
And how old are you when you were first in the team?
I would have said I was probably mid to late 20s.
Yeah.
Mid to late 20s.
And what was that like when you to represent your country for the
absolutely
first time?
fantastic.
Was it?
Fantastic.
Were you nervous?
Yeah, I suppose so. In the first years, yeah. It's like some people are never comfortable when other people are watching them shoot. Yeah. I'm not an exhibitionist, but I do like it a lot when other people are watching. Yeah.
You like the pressure?
Yeah, it makes you try a little bit harder. You know, there's more on you. You're not going to fail.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about it. Just get on with the job in front of you.
And did you shoot well on your first outing for GB?
Yeah, I did okay. I've enjoyed myself.
And it must have made your dad proud, that, as coming from a gamekeeper, to see his son shooting for GB.
I mean, obviously, the first lessons that I ever had would have been with my dad, giving me 5 cartridges.
Yeah.
And if I didn't come back with 4 rabbits, I think you know what I got.
A good idea.
Yeah, dead right. Yeah. Otherwise, you knew I'd waste them. That's it. And obviously, my dad would always say, people would say, does he shoot at things a long way away? And my father would always say, if it flew this side of the moon, he'll shoot at it. So it's got to be done.
A bit like you do on Partridge and Pheasant. And you seem to hit them and all.
Yeah.
And so, what have you won in terms of big achievements? What was you won a few fit-ass things, didn't you?
Yeah, I won a few fit-ass shoots.
A few biggies?
Yeah, I'm not going to...
What's your biggest achievement? What's your biggest shooting achievement?
Gold medal. You won gold medals for GB, didn't you?
Yeah,
for Fitask?
GB and team events and everything else. I've been runner-up in the World Fitask Championship. I've had top 5 placings many times in Worlds and Europeans for Fitask, yeah. I've won the British Fitask Grand Prix 4 or 5 times, yeah. I've won the German one, I've won the Belgian one. But one of the nicest things was 24 years ago, shooting 100 straight at Fitask in Belgium.
Wow.
At the Belgium Grand Prix.
Was that the one you got into the Guinness Book of Records for?
Yeah, I don't know whether it's in there or not. To tell you the
but
truth.
it was, wasn't it?
Yeah. But
you were the first person who shot 100 straight in a major competition.
Yeah, for Fitask. Yeah.
Unbelievable. How many years ago was that?
24 years ago.
Flipping hell.
Right. Can you imagine that not missing? Were you getting a bit nervous on your last pair?
The last pair was a simultaneous pair. It was a bird fast down a hedgerow, followed by an incoming crow thing, and the first pair, the going away down the hedgerow bird, was there, and I shot it. The crow broke, so it was nothing established pair again. And I thought, here we go. But then they did both come. I shot the first bird instantly. But the crow was only 20 yards away, but I'm sure it took about 3 seconds to break. It took a while. Yeah, it seemed like a while.
Can you imagine what a feeling that must be?
It seemed like a while.
Yeah, but the pressure on that is...
Yeah, but it was lovely because people were watching, and after we'd finished, because it was abroad as well in Belgium, by the time we'd walk back to the clubhouse, 15-minute steady walk back, the owner had already knew a phone call from the actual stand to there. And then it was just, you've never seen as much champagne in all your life.
Really?
Yeah.
Proper party.
Yeah, it was a good time.
What was second place score out of interest?
I don't know what the second score was that day, but I beat everybody over the whole thing by about 5 or 7 targets.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
I don't think, I could be wrong here, and we should probably try and Google it if we can. I don't think it's ever been done. I don't think anyone's ever straighted a major fit-ass sporting competition.
Right, so it was 100 targets on the first day, and I shot those. Then there's 100 targets on the next day because it was a Grand Prix shoot, so it was 200 targets. But other people have shot hundreds initially by first shooting a 50 on one day and then a 50 on another day. But I know since that a couple of them have shot 100 straight in in the same day,
Right.
if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So, but again, it's just some people would say it depends on the targets and how they're set and everything else.
There's a little bit of luck included, obviously.
Listen, I would still say that to win anything nowadays, you need to shoot well. You need to be at the top of your game, but you do need to have the luck on your side as well.
Yeah.
I'd most definitely.
Yeah. And what do you think, looking back, is there a little bit of natural ability that made you as good a shot as you are? You know, that's something we want to sort of talk about on the pod. How do you think you got so good?
I did a fair bit of shooting. For me, you'd have to ask other people. I don't know what to say. Whether lots of people have said that they think I'm natural and this, that, and the other. But I just enjoy it.
Yeah.
I just enjoy it. Yeah. Yeah.
And you're still a really good shot now. You're not losing it at all, do you feel? Do you look back?
My timing wouldn't be the same.
Yeah, you've got to
need
think
to do
a little bit more.
Yeah.
But you are naturally, and this is a silly thing to say because everyone said there's no such thing, but you've been always that amazing clay shot that people would say is naturally gifted. I mean, you are.
Yeah. I'm looking.
I mean, he's left-handed. He could pick up a right-handed gun. He's picked up my gun many a time and thrashed me. But he just, do you know what I mean? He can pick up any gun.
Yeah.
And you can just.
Yeah. I don't mind.
You know, you don't. It doesn't. People about we were saying earlier about gun fits and things like that. But Sean will pick. I mean, he picked a gun out the gun room here. Went to shoot a register shot 98 out of 100. And a good one that he hasn't. And you don't shoot hardly ever now, do you? I mean, people think he must be out there. He never shoots. I mean, I can vouch for you there. And
I
don't actually think I've ever seen you shoot in the flesh. I've tried to get him to shoot. He went, no, I'm not a shooter.
I've seen him shoot on charity shoots.
Who got you to hit that bird at the game fair?
Yeah,
Nobody else did it.
I know.
How many shots did it take?
4,000.
I don't know. Go on, remind me.
That really long one when I said you'll have to shoot under it.
I
And
don't
you
know
said
about
why.
the shot. I know what cartridge was in it.
Yeah. That's what it needed.
Yeah. The only man to shoot at 32 grams.
And Sean, I think one thing I'd love to chat about, because I've never really caught up with you on it, and Sam won't know about it, was when you went to Dubai for the big shoot out there.
Yeah.
Did you know about this, Sam?
Yeah.
Do you remember the old day? There was a big, massive, you'll tell us more,
Yeah,
a massive
yeah.
shoot in Dubai, wasn't there?
Yeah, but His Royal Highness put a lovely shoot on in the desert out there, and it was the targets were good targets. It was fit ass. Everybody was using the same ammunition. It was on the stand for you to shoot.
When was this?
2014.
Right. 10 years ago.
Yeah, and I was doing okay for the first 3 days, like at the top of the leaderboard, and then the last day
He was leading the way, weren't he?
yeah, the last day.
And
I
the
suppose,
prize was, just hang on, what was that was
I
massive?
think the prize was $140,000 for the first prize.
Yeah.
Holy hell.
Oh, it's huge. It was the
Yeah.
biggest prize money competition clay shooting has seen ever.
And I suppose I didn't feel comfortable. The last layout, I missed 3 of my last 5 birds. So obviously, I must have let the pressure get to me.
Yeah.
And then you went into a super final, top 6. So I was still in the super final for that. And some super finals, it would be, obviously, you start again and whoever. But this particular one, it was added to your score already. But I showed them how to shoot the targets in the super final, so that was good enough.
Where did you finish?
I finished 4th.
Right.
Still finished 4th. So I went with nothing. I came back with $25,000, so I was happy.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, that's
Yeah.
not a bad payday, is it?
Yeah, so it's very kind of him to generously let us have his money and let him have his time for what he did for us
Yeah.
all there in the desert. It was a good time.
Haven't they tried to do something similar last
Yeah.
year, was it? Or the year
last
before?
year, yeah.
Yeah, it was a different, slightly different, but a different place.
Yeah.
But again, it's
Big prize
But
money,
this,
though.
I
Yeah.
never went on this competition that Sean went on. It happened to 2 or 3 years. It wasn't. Was
2
it?
years.
2 years. And
Yeah.
people went absolutely loved it. Everything was put on by them. You were their guests. All the food. I mean,
Amazing.
they had draws, didn't they? Had like raffle draws.
Yeah, big
You
raffle
had
draws.
to be there to collect it to
and
win.
it to be a car, be a
Yeah,
four-wheel
be a
drive car.
pickup. And you have to be there
Yeah.
to have the prize. One chap from England, who was it? Who won
Yeah,
the?
Martin Doughty's wife, partner.
But she wasn't there, was she?
No, I think she was. She got hers, but somebody else.
Somebody else
weren't,
wasn't there, so they redrew
so they draw
it.
it again.
Oh, that
Can you
stings,
imagine?
won't it?
I didn't hang around. Won the pickup.
Oh,
Nope, sorry, too late.
oh.
Redraw.
Yeah, they were very generous, and even when you got to the airport, transport was already laid on for you and took you to your hotel wherever it was and everything else. Yeah, so it was something else.
Yeah,
something
that's
else,
cool.
Yeah,
And who won the 140? Was it an Englishman?
Gebben Miles,
American.
Gebben Miles, won it,
American.
an American.
Phenomenal shot.
Yeah,
You were the
So-
top placed Brit, though, weren't you?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I was lucky because I'd not done that much before then. Trust me.
Didn't you have a problem with your gun?
I've not there. Don't think not there. I've had leaf springs snap before, in when I've actually been shooting around a fit ass, and then the next thing, because they know my gun's broke, then there's 3 other guns get put in front of me from the other squad members, and still shoot a 25 straight.
With someone else's gun.
Yeah. So
He's so annoying.
You are. And now you're a coach. How have you developed into that role? And what would you say is your technique with coaching? How do you teach people how to shoot?
I'm not going to tell everybody on air, am I? That'd be quite silly.
His secret.
Right.
Hang on, though. I think we should go back before this.
Right, okay, sorry.
Only because, so we wanted a good head coach.
Yeah.
And I'd spoken to Sean for years. I'd known Sean for years and seen him the circuit shooting and everything else. And loads of people were like, "There's only one guy out there who's never done it. He's done a lot of shooting." And I knew of Sean. And literally, we basically headhunted Sean and said, "Come to us." And I spoke to Sean for years before you actually came. I mean, I'm going to say 5 years. It might be wrong. It might be more or less. But didn't I? And I said,
Yeah.
and Sean was like, "I'm not coming. I'm not. Rob, I'm where I am. I've been here a long time. I don't want to let him down. I don't. I'm enjoying it. It's near home and everything else." And eventually, I wore him down. And he said, "And you rang me, didn't you?" I'll never forget. And he rang me and said, "All right. I think it was your. I want to say your 50th birthday or so around that time."
Yeah, around then.
And
or
you'd
just
said,
before.
"I'm turning 50. Or I'm just turned 50. Okay, let's talk. And I'll come now. I want to put back into the shooting world all the fun that I've had." And that was how it all started. And then he came here, and we got a little flat over the road, and
Yeah.
that was when it all started. And you'd not done you'd done obviously coaching with
Yeah.
friends and things
Yeah.
like that, but not as a full-time job, had
No.
you?
And it's very overwhelming at first because you don't know everybody's individual, and I just base everything on the individuals as they turn up. You can't have one method that works with them all. You have to see what they've been like or how they've been shooting and what they're doing and everything else. And after a while, it becomes like when you get new people, it's fantastic because it's a challenge. I want to see what they've got.
People that have never shot before.
Yeah, they're going to show me what they're going to do. They're going to
Yeah.
show me what they're going to do. And it's lovely to think that after helping them, they're going to enjoy the shooting and get a larger score when it comes to shooting a clay competition or just enjoy themselves a bit more in the field. That's it.
I think what makes Sean very special is no matter how good you are, he's got something he can give you and help you.
Yeah.
It's not, you could have never shot before, you will go out and his talent is you'll have a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
And part of, I'm not going to say half of teaching people to shoot, but Sean will say better, a big part of it is they go out and have fun. You can be the best coach in the world.
Yeah.
But if you're as boring as hell
Yeah,
and not fun to be with, you don't want to learn, do you?
No,
You-
it's
you
a
need
long
to-
it's a long hour, isn't it?
it's a
If
long hour.
miserable-
Whereas what Sean's talent is he's bloody good fun. People absolutely love spending time
he's a
with
flirt.
him.
Sometimes.
And
Yeah, but you're not attractive enough. Yeah, trust me.
I don't
Charlie
know the
is.
way you mean
Charlie
it.
is definitely. Charlie is.
Yeah.
But people just enjoy that, and I think that's one of his absolute skills. But equally, you can shoot, which we have. People shoot for Great Britain,
Yeah.
and they've got a problem. There's only a few people they will turn to. I mean, literally a handful.
Yeah.
And many people who shoot for GB have come up here recently. Various people
And-
we know, and they come and ask Sean, "Can you just have a look at me, please, Sean? Can you help me? Just see what I'm doing?" And it might be the minutest
And
of
it's
things.
not just a thing that you do in the hour slot or 2 hour slot or 3 hour slot. Yeah. they can phone and ask and message and do anything at any point. They put a great deal of trust in you. So I'm respectful of the fact that they put trust in you, and they can bother me, and they regularly do, any time, day or night.
Yeah.
And it's lovely. But it's even better when they're bothering you when they've had a good result somewhere.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so it's very worthwhile. It's very worthwhile.
No, you're good. What else can-
It's quite cool, isn't it?
Yeah, no, it is cool. It is, mate. It's a great story as well because of where you've come from, and now obviously you're here at Churchills. How often are you here at Churchill?
At the moment, I'm here 4 days a week, but it might be changing going through. But I'll always be here. You'll always be able to get me here.
Is that breaking news?
Well, it's very breaking news, but only that Sean needs to spend a bit more time at home with the family, so he's going to go down to 2 days a week.
Yeah.
You know,
But
probably
you'll-
around the time this gets released, he's going to go down to
Yeah,
2 days a week.
you'll still be able to get slots with me down here for a
That,
long
by the
time.
way,
yet.
that's
Don't worry.
you won't because he'll be fully booked.
Yeah.
So you better
Yeah.
book well in advance. Do you
Yeah.
know what I mean? So he's going to do that, aren't you, big fella?
Yeah, I can't let people down from here.
He's got the most amazing following, and he teaches all the great and the good. We're not allowed to say, but everybody as well.
Yeah, mate.
He's-
Yeah.
he teaches royalty who ring him up and say, "Can you come here and can you please teach me, help me?" You know, down to business leaders, down to just new people kids coming into the sport, wanting to get better. People from Great Britain, like I said, it's just the depth of people you coach is remarkable,
yeah,
isn't it?
yeah, it's lovely. Like I say, it's just having that time with them and seeing, yeah, and newbies, new people into shooting. I still feel it's very important that they see me first because I can straighten them up sooner rather than later. Yeah,
Yeah.
It's very difficult to start altering an old
Bad
dog with new
habits.
tricks. You can't do it.
Yeah.
You can't do it. It's more difficult, more demanding.
And do you get out into game days often, mate? Or like infield coaching, or even shooting yourself or not?
Yeah, I do infield coaching, yeah, as well, and I shoot a few game days. Not loads and loads, but enough for me.
Do you prefer coaching infield on a game day than a clay ground? Or
I
not?
don't mind either way. I don't mind. It's easier to replicate on a clay ground what somebody needs to be doing. It's very more demanding. It can be very hit and miss on a game day. It can be very hit and miss.
Different
depending-
targets all the time.
Yeah, depending on. But I can still help people but if you're infield coach, you can't do it when you're double gunning or anything. You need to be
Focused on that.
focused.
person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen, I don't mind stuffing. You can control what's happening. You control the pace of everything better. Yeah, it's good, but it's still you still benefit. I don't care what anybody says. People will always say, "Oh, shooting clays and shooting game are two totally different things." When it comes to placing that column of shot, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
Yeah, if you can get them to be a good shot at clays, if they go and shoot game,
Yeah,
you
it's-
get the whole concept of
It's a moving object. You're
Exactly that.
intercepting it. That's it. And it's the need to do. It's only going to help you more by shooting a few targets.
Yeah.
Yeah, people don't. They won't always believe me, but it does help. It's got. How can it not help?
Oh
How can
yeah.
it not help?
Literally.
I agree.
Literally.
Yeah.
And when you were competing, was there anybody? You obviously had many a battle with George, and
Yeah.
and you and George were ranked as, for many years as number one and number two. And I think George has even said that you're probably the only person he feared in a shoot-off and things like that. And was George your biggest competitor? Was he the person if you got in a shoot-off with, did it not matter who was in with you?
It didn't matter at the time. It's not going to change me. It was the only time I'd be really worried is if you were in a shoot off with a lady, and then I'd say split it immediately. Yeah, because I'm not losing to a lady. You know what I mean? But it's George. Even the likes of Steve Whitelock. Steve was a big inspiration.
Yeah.
Early years. Yeah.
Yeah.
He'll hate me for saying that. Yeah. He was my hero many years ago.
Was he?
Yeah. He was a good boy.
He's a hell of a shot.
Yeah, listen, he's slowed down quite a bit now. Listen, trust me, before the trap arm had even finished its swing, those targets were smashed. Yeah,
A fellow left-hander.
yeah. That's why it was nice to watch and follow.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
bet. There's not many that have made it as far as Sean, is there? Left-handers?
Yeah, Richard.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah,
Flipping
Richard.
out. Yeah, he's done all right.
Only Richard Foles. mate.
He's done all right.
He's like me,
okay.
except slimmer.
It's a slim
Yeah.
version of Sean.
Did you have any routines as you went into a shoot off or anything like that? Anything you do? No.
No, it's easy
Kiss your
for some
necklaces.
people to say no, say all this about being focused and everything else. I think some people can just switch off immediately and be able to do it. Other people need to be trained and trust themselves to be able to switch off a little bit more. No, it was.
For you, it's just another day.
Yeah, it was another day. Yeah, and please understand, I'd learned how to lose before I ever learned how to win.
Yeah.
And that's what people forget, that there's no fast track. There's an apprenticeship. Serve your apprenticeship. Get there. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's a comment of the pod. That I've learned how to lose before I learned how to win. Wise words.
We're like that with the pod, mate.
Yeah, yeah, very wise.
What cartridges you were using? Were you always Game Ball? I know you're a big
Shot
fan
Hull.
now.
Shot
Yeah.
Hull for many years. Yeah. David Bontoff was very good to me. Yeah. Paul James Game Ball. Yeah. I've shot Benaghi from Italy as well at times. Yeah. They've all been. But I didn't. I stopped with each of these for not 18 months. Yeah. Like Hull I've shot for 15 years or more. Game Ball, 10, 12, 14 years. Yeah, Benaghi, 5 years.
Really?
Yeah. And sometimes I only had to swap because at the time Tony Kennedy was always sponsoring me with guns. He was a gentleman in letting me have the guns. Otherwise, I'd have never been able to use the equipment I was using at the time. Never been able to use it.
And what was your weapon of choice?
Gun. Can
Yeah.
I just say?
Last off, my P&V. But at the moment, I've been shooting a Churchill, yeah, a nice big Churchill that,
Which Tony Kennedy helped us win.
yeah, and trust me, I enjoy shooting that.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I can
It
break things.
It was a one-off.
Yeah, I can break things
Did in
with it.
collaboration with Tony Kennedy and Piotti.
Oh, right.
It was.
Yeah.
It
So
literally
it's
is a
a nice
one-off that we
gun.
had altered for Sean's measurements, and it's a lovely gun.
Yeah.
I imagine you want a bit of weight in a gun, though, no?
It's got a bit of weight in it.
Why are you saying that? Yeah,
Well, I
listen,
do.
Listen,
I do.
right, so just over £8. Just over £8 nice, yeah? Or a little bit more. Some people don't always like the weight. I like the weight because it only moves because you move it. But the heavier it is, the kinder it's going to be to you with the recoil.
Yeah.
The kinder it's going to be to you with the recoil. Yeah.
What chokes do you have in it, Sean? What chokes?
Unfortunately, they're not steel friendly. Yeah, mine, through my choice, yeah, is 3/4 and full. I know I probably missed targets that are closer because of that, but that's what I've shot for almost 3 decades. I'm happy with that. It misses because I put it in the wrong place.
Yeah.
All I will say is just use different ammunition depending on what the target is at the time when you're shooting it. Yeah. I'm one of the few people that will probably, when I was shooting 100 registers, 100 fit-ass, 70% of my cartridges, even years ago, would have been fibre. I didn't, because of the chokes I was using, let the shot get out there, let it do its business, that's it, it's fine. You don't have to have it in a plaswad all the time.
No.
Nothing wrong with fibre wad cartridges and quad seal cartridges now, they're fine.
You hear people go on about chokes a lot, don't you? I'm not really a gun buff by any means. I shoot what I'm given. But chokes to some people are like the be all and end all, and they're swapping them in between each stand, aren't they, and stuff. And you can almost think too much about it, can't you?
Yeah, so long as there's some in there, that's the main thing. Don't worry about
Yeah,
it.
literally, yeah.
Yeah. Don't worry about it. Just
But you've always been a big fan of tight chokes.
Yeah, tight
and
to
change
chokes.
the cartridges. You know, if it's a really close bird,
Yeah.
you might shoot a 9-shot or something like that.
yeah.
right?
Or just shove it out of a fibre wad. Let the shot get out there and do what it's meant to do. Just spread about and break the target. Yeah. But I think when you are using a lot of choke and you're hitting stuff hard, it's easier to see where you're going sometimes. With less choke, it can be a little bit vague sometimes with certain people. Yeah, but I'd still say to people, if you've got a multi-choke gun and the targets are on top of you, take the choke out.
Yeah.
Make it appear on that scorecard as a kill.
What was
Make
the
it
great
appear.
line when you shot the Essex Masters? What was that? What did you score when you won it?
Well, I've won it 3 or 4 times. So.
And
But one year I did shoot at 100 straight. Yeah, on the first 100. And John Dyson turned around, looked at me because he scored and refed it all the way round. He just looked at me and went, "You won't do that on the next 100." and he'd even altered the menus on the actual stands, on the last 4 stands, to make sure that I wouldn't.
Because he thought he'd made it too easy.
And what was your best score?
I can't remember.
200.
I think the best score would still be well in the 190s, but I can't remember offhand. I can't remember.
Unbelievable.
He's been very coy, but
He's being coy. He's too humble, isn't he?
He is far too humble.
So,
He is. Sure, well, look, I'm really, the funny thing is he's got a lesson.
I know,
we've
you two are
literally
checking
nicked
your
him.
watches.
He's thinking
yeah,
to himself,
poor old
he'll have
Richard
someone
Lennox will be
waiting for
really
him.
worried now.
He'll be waiting for him out there.
He'll be after a cuddle. You better go catch up
You're
with
an
him, mate.
absolute legend, Sean. We're very proud
Thank
to have
you.
you as
You are,
here for
mate,
many
you are.
years, and thank you for your time today. And
Pleasure.
One of the great characters, mate.
one of the stars of
I
our
won't
industry.
change.
No, don't change
really?
for anybody.
Yeah, I won't
Please.
change.
Oh, go on.
Yeah.
Just stop sending
Just
me them
sometimes.
pictures.
Yeah, no, you're receiving them every
Oh, I
week.
could get some pictures.
Yeah, every week. Yeah. And he's just added me on Facebook, so
You
he's
want-
in trouble.
You
Yeah,
want to
he's
see him
in
at
trouble.
Christmas? I could tell you some stories, not
Yeah.
for the camera, when he sat here with his Christmas hat on, waiting for everyone to turn up on the wall.
Oh, yeah. Tell me what you want for Christmas.
It's got to be done, and it's going to happen again. Don't worry.
It's going to happen
He's an
again.
absolute star. Thank you, Shawnee.
Thank you.
Yeah, legend. Thanks for coming on, mate. That wraps it up. Another episode of the Tweedl Pod. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And yeah, hope you enjoy it.
Thanks, everyone.
Cheers.
Cheers.